Hi, Carol Ann here with Sacred Space School of Yoga and Sacred Space Yoga with Carol Ann. Today's practice will be a slow flow with some shoulder and back work. So let's go ahead and get started. But before we do, I'm sitting on one block, and you might want to have another block and a strap if you would like. It's not necessary, but we know our bodies, right? But I do want you to have one blanket. Now that blanket or towel, whatever might work, at some point we're going to fold that fairly thick and use that in our practice today. So just set that off to the side where we can find it. We'll open up with mantra and 3 Oms together. But first, find a nice tall seat. Close the eyes, settling in. Feel the sits bones on the floor or on your prop. Do your best to start to just follow your natural breath. Notice how your body feels today. Also notice your mental state today. Never shove down emotions. They're there for us to serve us. So we want to experience them fully, and when they no longer serve, we let them go. Bring the hands into prayer pose, opening with mantra. Feel free to join in if you know it. Afterward, we'll do 3 Oms together and then begin our practice. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Om Sahanao Bhavatu. Sahanao Punatu. Sahaviryam Karavavahai. Tejasvi Navaditamastu Mavid Vashavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Release, let our eyes flutter open. If we're sitting on a block, just set that off to the side. Settle yourself into a wide knee or a narrow knee child's pose, whatever feels most comfortable to you. Open and stretch and extend those arms. Let them relax and let the forehead come down to the floor. Your hips are moving back towards your heels, and they don't have to touch. We're just moving them backward. Resting and relaxing. Now follow your breath. Nice natural breath or Ujjayi breath, whatever's better for you. Throughout the practice today, we'll notice the sensations in the body and how the breath reacts to the movement. When ready, come up onto all fours, aligning the hips and knees. Walk the hands out for puppy pose and drop the forehead down. Bend the elbows, bring the hands into a prayer position, and then reach your thumbs toward your shoulders, the middle of your shoulders, to stretch out tricep. Your booty is high, your belly is low. Notice the breath here. Notice how the muscles of the arms are reacting, your triceps. And just breathe. Releasing those hands, place the hands under the shoulders. Once more, reach back into your child's pose, sinking the hips just for a breath. Rounding out the spine. And come up on the all fours and transition down on the belly. Bring your elbows under your shoulders, your fingers are spread wide, and you're pressing your palms in and pulling your chest through. If you have your legs wide, it's less tense on the back and on the bum, because when we have them close, we want to squeeze them. We want to relax them in this position. Now that being said, if your knees bother you, you can just come up on the toes and flex the toes back, and that should help with the knee situation. If not, you can always stop, pause, and place a blanket underneath the knees. Hold and breathe. You're really pulling your chest through, rolling your shoulders back. And then release back down. Bring the fingertips, hands with up on the fingertips right outside of the mat, so just barely on the outside. Lift up into a cobra pose on the fingertips and stretch the chest forward. In breath center, out breath twist to the left, working in shoulder. Inhale center, exhale right, and one more. Inhale, exhale, in and out. In breath to center space, and then just come down, relax and release, maybe just bringing your hands down by your sides for a moment, resting, reaching. Place the hands underneath the shoulders, lift up, and push back into that child's pose. But this time be up on the toes. You can really get a nice deep stretch, not just for the toes, but also for the extension of the spine. Finding a little rounding in the lower spine. And then come back, right back down on the belly, giving these little breaks in between. Bring the arms out into a T. And now take the left hand under the shoulder. Keep the right arm extended out where it is. Roll over the right leg, head to the floor if possible, and the left toes behind. So we're giving ourselves a good, challenging stretch for the shoulder. If that's too much pressure, then roll forward. But if not, just soften into it. Notice the discomfort, find some softness. Roll back onto the belly, arms back out into a T, going to the second side. So the right hand comes under the shoulder, roll on the outside of the left leg, right foot steps behind, head to the floor if it works. And really feel that stretch. Release, coming back into our center space. Let's get one big full cobra pose. Just really stretching, even straightening the arms if that feels good. And then shift back into a downward facing dog. Start to pedal out the legs. Shifting from side to side, maybe even moving the hips or the shoulders. Whatever feels good, finding those intuitive movements. Settle in now into your down dog, heels to or toward the floor. They don't have to touch, they do or they don't. Roll the biceps in toward the ears so you can puff out that backside body. Tuck the belly and little bit tilt, posterior tilt, tucking forward and hold here. Let the head, the crown of the head just go toward the floor. Your gaze can be between your legs, your tip of your nose, or up toward your belly. Next in breath, the right knee comes to the right wrist. Shifting the left leg back. Now I know many of you like to put your leg in the 90-degree angle, but for today and for purposes of moving into the next pose, have your foot not quite that far, a little bit out, not quite back toward the hip, but out and flex to give us a little bit of stability for a posture after this one. So coming up, nice tall stance here. In, roll those shoulders back, maybe arching the lower spine just a bit. The gaze is up. And when you're ready, just walk those hands out. Forehead can come back down to the floor. Pull your right hip back and notice that your left hip naturally moves forward. If it bothers your knee, remember you can always come up on the toes, flexing the foot through the use of the toes, and that will compensate for that. And walk your hands back under the shoulders. Come up, really reaching, having that little bit of arch. Place the right hand down, bend the back knee, clasp on with your left hand to the left ankle, flex the foot, and then pull the leg away. Just getting a good shoulder stretch as well as working the quadricep. Release, hands down, downward facing dog. If you want to pedal out the legs here, that's perfectly fine. Just remember your principles of down dog. Biceps roll in toward the ears. Heels tour toward the floor. Belly is tucked. Next in breath, left knee to the left wrist. Slide the right leg back. Go ahead and set up that front foot, bringing it a little bit closer. So now we know why I wanted you to do that. So walk those hands back, lifting up nice and high, really rolling those shoulders back. And as ready, walk forward. Rest on the floor for a few breaths here, and remember to pull that left hip back so the right hip comes forward just a touch. And we breathe. And walk those hands back under the shoulders. Come back up, finding that good stretch. Left hand comes down, right knee bends, clasp onto the ankle with the hand and pull back, lifting up and stretching. Release, hands down, up and back, downward facing dog. Pedal out those legs. From this position, reach that left leg up, inhaling. Exhale, bend that opens. We'll circle the hips a little bit. So start to draw big circles with the knee, working into those hips. Reverse, going second direction. And reach it back up to the sky. Nice, good stretch for the groin. Drop the foot down. Second side. Right leg reaches up. In breath, out breath, bend it open. Start to circle. Moving with your breath. Go the second direction. Reach it up in the sky on the inhale, and then drop it back down, downward facing dog. Gaze to the front, step up, one or several, feet together or hip width apart. Come into a nice forward fold. It's working the hamstring just a bit. If it's available, clasp onto your arms or elbows behind your legs, and then just lift the chest forward, getting an extension, and then fold in. If it's too intense on your hamstrings, just bend the knees and breathe. Release. Bend those knees. Place the hands on the thighs. Roll up, coming into our Tadasana. Ankles, knees, hips, shoulders in alignment. Your gaze is forward, finding a nice steady gaze. Next, inhale, reach the arms up in the air, breath. Out breath, big goddess arms, really stretching all the way through that upper back, really opening up those shoulders. In breath, bring it up. Out breath, hands come down. Right elbow goes underneath the left, making eagle arms. So if your hands don't touch, having them apart is fine. If they touch, there we go. Get the elbows and the shoulders in alignment and push away. Hold and breathe. And seconds cross. So left is under, same position. You'll notice it feels different. That's pretty normal. And breathe. Release those hands and arms. Roll the shoulders a couple of times each direction, just getting tensions out. Next in breath, drop those hips back, reach the arms forward. Few rounds of breath here in our Utkatasana, our chair pose. So you want to make sure your weight is back in the heels, not toward the toes. Really reach that back. Hold here, breathe. Now let's add a little energy. So in breath, out breath, fold, the arms swing back, and in breath they come up. Out breath back. There's 3. Continue. Three more. And last one. And stand all the way up. Bring the hands together. Out breath, forward fold. Sun salutation C, 1 full round. Inhale, half lift, hands to the shins or the fingertips. Exhale, right leg goes back, down to the knee. In breath, reach the arms up. Out breath, shift forward, stretching out the hips and the groin, adding a touch of a back bend. Hands come down, step back into plank pose. Exhale, knees, chest and chin. Inhaling, cobra pose. Exhaling, downward facing dog. In breath, right foot to the front, down to the back knee. Exhaling, in breath, reach it up. Out breath, shift it back, stretching and reaching. Inhale, hands to the floor. Exhale, back foot up, steps to fold. In breath into a half lift. Out breath back into that fold, getting a good extra breath. In breath, arms lift and reach. Out breath, take it down and release. Same thing, second side. In breath up. Out breath fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, left leg back, down to the knee. In breath, arms lift. Out breath, shift forward. Inhale, hands down, off the back knee, plank pose. Exhale, knees, chest and chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. In breath, left foot to the front. Exhale, down to the knee. In breath, arms lift. Out breath, shift forward. Inhale, hands down. Exhale, back foot up to fold. In breath, half lift. Out breath, fold, just taking an extra breath with these sun Cs. Inhaling, the arms lift and reach. Exhale, down and release. 3 rounds of Surya Namaskar A. In breath, out breath. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plank pose to either knees, chest and shin or Chaturanga. In breath, cobra pose. Up dog, either one. Out breath, down dog, 1 full breath. Bottom of your breath, step to the front.
In breath, half lift. Out breath to fold. In breath, the arms lift and reach. Out breath down and release. Round 2, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plank to either knees, chest, and shin, or chaturanga. Last time I did knees, chest, and shin. This time chaturanga. In breath, cobra or up dog. Out breath, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Look to the front, step up, inhaling half lift. Exhale to fold. In breath, the arms lift and reach. Out breath down and release. Just one more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plank, chaturanga or knees, chest, and shin. In breath, up dog or cobra. Out breath, down dog. Inhale. Exhale. Look to the front. Step up. In breath, half lift. Out breath to fold. In breath, the arms up. Out breath. Release. Take a breath. If your breath is very out of control, take this time to soften and smooth. Ready now for a little vinyasa flow. In breath, right leg steps back, high crescent lunge, and the arms reach. Out breath bends the knee a little, squares the hips, and then extends the heel back, coming into a little bit deeper of a high crescent. We hold here and breathe. Now, inhaling, the right elbow goes underneath the left, eagle arms. We've been here before. Arms reach forward, and then maybe add a little back bend here. And breathe. Release, bring those arms up, inhale. Exhale, open up for warrior 2. Now for a moment, drop the hands, bring them into a prayer position. Possibly scoot your front toes maybe a little deeper, and it's only if it feels good in your practice. And sink in a little bit deeper into your warrior 2 pose. Release those hands, back out, warrior 2. Hold and breathe. Next, exhale. Interlace the hands either in a clasping position or holding onto the elbows, depending on how you feel today. Lift the chest, turn it a little to the front right corner, and out breath, come into a humbled warrior fold, just rounding in. Engage that core, coming back up, arms back out into that T. And now, windmill around, right hand comes down, left arm reaches up in the air for a dragon twist. What'll happen is your heel will want to twist one way or the other, so really work on keeping that heel pointing up to the sky. If you want to add some intensity, you can come on to the outside of the front foot and or the outside of the back foot, lifting the hips up and opening, so it's completely up to you. Hand comes down, low lunge. Back foot steps up about halfway. Shift back with either straight legs or a slight micro bend, depending on how tight your hamstrings are. And then walk your fingers out and fold over. If you want to use your blocks here, works great. And you have to judge, find challenge, but never find pain. Just meet the challenge where it is without going back past that. Then we'll bend that front knee a bit. Reach that right leg up in the air. For a standing split, if you want to add more intensity, left hand clasps the left ankle, and fold forward. Release, step back into the low lunge, and downward facing dog. Pedal out those legs. We stepped into the high crescent. Now we'll come from the bottom and rising into the high crescent. So at the bottom of your exhale, look to the front, right foot steps to the front, come up on those back toes, and we rise up, inhaling. Exhale, bend the back knee, square the hip, and then extend the heel back. Hold and breathe. Now, left elbow comes under the right, finding our eagle arms, lift up, and then the little back bend. Release, arms lift, out breath, bring the hands to prayer, setting up for our warrior two stance. You have options of just really going deeper or scooting the toes. You don't want the knee to go over the ankle in this position, back behind it, level, but not over it. Finding that space and open up for warrior two and breathe. Interlace either the hands or hold on to the elbows, lift the chest, and fold into our humble fold. Engage that core, rising back up. Warrior two pose, in breath. Out breath, windmill that hand around. Left hand comes down. Reach the right arm up. Remember that back heel tries to spin out, so really lift it up. If you want to add the intensity, then come on to the outside edges, lifting the hips up. Out breath, hand down. Back foot steps up about halfway. Folding over in our pyramid pose. Bend that front knee, reach that leg up in the air for standing split. And if you want a little more, just right hand clasps the right ankle and fold it in. Release that leg back. Nice low lunge. This time the back foot steps up to the front and fold. Reach those arms up in the air on the inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down. Standing balance. So I'm going to step back just a bit. I have a nice wall there that I want to hear. So we're going to work on eagle pose today. We've noticed these eagle arms, so now we're going to add the legs as well for our standing position. Bring the right under the left, just like we've been doing. Now, bend the knees. Take the right over. Now you can make a kickstand here, and that's all that we need to do. If you'd like, you can bring that leg around and wrap. So either is fine. Hold and breathe. And release. Coming up. Take the arms out. Roll the shoulders back. And second side. So left goes under. Finding our eagle arms. Left goes over. Remember, you can always have the kickstand or wrapping it around. Weight is in the butt and the heels. And release. Coming up. Roll those shoulders about. Now place the hands on the hips. Step the feet a little wider than hip distance apart. Lift up the chest on the in-breath. Out breath to fold. Clasp onto the big toes with your thumb and first two fingers. In breath, straightening the arms, reaching the chest forward. Half lift here. Out breath. Elbows out to the side and fold in and breathe. Inhaling, coming to half lift. Exhale, place the hands underneath the feet up to the wrists and elbows out as we fold in. Inhaling, extending, exhale here. Take your hands out, place them on the hips. In breath to rise up. Come back into your Tadasana pose. Bring the feet together now. We'll do one round of Sun B, and then we'll work on some back bending on the floor. So in breath, hips back, arms reach. Out breath, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plank to Chaturanga or knees, chest, and shin. In breath, cobra or up dog. Out breath, downward facing dog. Right foot steps to the front, the back heel opens, and we rise up. Virabhadrasana 1. Out breath, hands come down, step back, Chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhaling, cobra or up dog. Out breath, down dog. Left foot steps to the front, the back foot opens. Rise up, Virabhadrasana 1. Out breath down, plank, knees, chest, chin or Chaturanga. Inhaling up, cobra. Exhaling back, down dog. Inhale. Exhale. Take a step to the front, feet together. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold. In breath, drops those hips, reaches the arms up. Out breath, hands down, and release. Heading to the floor now. So reach those arms up, just a half salutation. Exhale to fold. Inhaling into a half lift. Exhale, plank. And drop the knees. Lay down on the floor. And just take a rest. And bring those hands under the shoulders. The feet are a little bit wider than hip width apart. Press into the hands and rise up into cobra pose, keeping the feet on the floor. And breathe. Out breath, take it down. Turn the head the other direction. Rest. Hands under the shoulders again. This time we reach the chest up and then let the legs come up. They don't have to come up high. And pull the shoulders back, the chest forward, and breathe here. Out breath, roll it down. You guessed it. Turn the head to the opposite side and take some rest. Just one more of these back bends. Chin or forehead comes to the floor. Bring the hands by your sides. Now you have the option of clasping the hands here or just bringing them by your thighs, palms facing. Now lift everything up, the feet and the chest. Again, you can clasp if you'd like or just hold it here. Out, breath down, child's pose. Yay for child's pose. Push those hips back toward the heels and take some rest. Relax the arms. Come up, walk your knees in, cross the ankles, and take a seat. Now this is where we're going to want to have our blanket. You can also use block if you prefer, but I like the idea of the blanket, and you'll find out why in a minute. So you want that thick. My blanket looks like this, but I've folded it, and I'm going to fold it again because I want it nice and thick. So lay on the floor, pick up your hips, and this blanket is going to go on the bottom edge of your butt cheeks. So not way up here under the lower back, but on the bottom of the edge of the butt cheeks. So we have this little bit of an arch when we lay here. Place the hands on the belly and reach the legs up into the air. Hold here and breathe. Now, we're going to work some core work, but I want the hands on the belly if it works for your body, because I want you to notice if your belly starts to punch forward. You want the belly sucked in the whole time and flat. And if you're breathing and pushing into your belly, you're going to find out here, and you'll feel it in your hands. So from this, inhale, and now exhale, let the right leg go down. In breath up, out breath down. 3, we're doing 10 on each side. Really feel what's working in your core. With your hands there, can you feel how your core is deeply working and the connection of the core into the hip flexors? Three more. And your leg also doesn't have to go all the way down. Perhaps for you it's just a little bit. It's perfectly fine. You have to listen to your body here. Here's number 10, and then bring that up. So switching to the next side, 10, 9, belly's tucked, 8, 3 more. And last one. Now beautiful. Just bend those knees, place them on the floor. You might have to readjust where you are, because now we're going to have both those legs working. So your hands can be even holding onto that edge of that blanket. It's just nice and thick. If that works for you, or just the hands flat. Reach those legs up. Now, being said, if you don't feel comfortable, you can keep the knees bent as you do these postures. So inhale, tuck that belly, and exhale. So you can also place your hands back on the belly, making sure that you're keeping it nice and tucked. Five more. Two more. And last one. Beautiful job. Bring those knees in with that blanket. That allows you to get really close up towards your chest. Feel a good deep squeeze. Your legs can be together or apart. Just how it feels good on your body. That's what you want to recognize. Release. Pick up your hips. Take out your blanket. Now get your block. We're going to move into some versions. If you want to use block, if you don't want to, that's perfectly fine. But just have one handy. I'll show some modifications for where we are today. So finding ourselves either in shoulder stand or modified shoulder stand. So I'll show the modified shoulder stand first. You want your block on the medium setting, your hips resting underneath it. So it's a very supported bridge pose here, right? So we have this position, And then you'll keep your knees bent and have just a little bit of straightening in it. Roll your shoulders underneath, and now we have this nice modified shoulder stand. So why is this a modified shoulder stand? Well, first of all, if you're in full shoulder stand, then you would feel all that weight in your shoulders, and you should feel the weight in your shoulders there. So this is the modified. If you want the full, then you rock forward, walk the hands up the spine, getting the legs straight, and hold and breathe. We'll move into plow or waterfall. So I'll show plow first. So reaching those legs over the head if the feet touch the floor. Now some people are working on their plow and their legs are up. If your toes touch the floor, then you want to walk your toes back so you can flex the feet. And notice what happens when I flex the feet, my spine gets very, very tall. Your hands are supporting, and we hold here and breathe. Now, if this isn't what you want to do, you still have that block, you can just place your hips back on it and just come into this waterfall pose, just relaxing into the position. From this position, I'll call it from plow first. So from your plow, you want to move your block off if it's there. Bring your hands to come together, bend the knees, and then just roll down to where the feet come down on the floor. And when they do, you're going to lift your chest up, your elbows are pressing in, the crown of the head goes toward the floor, and we hold here and breathe. Your chest is nice and open and lifted. Now, if this is not for you, if you don't do it, if you have neck injuries, shoot, no. So be careful of your body. Then you can take your block again and place it on either the medium or the low setting of your bridge pose. So either the medium or the low, whatever is more comfortable. I like the medium here, just gives me a little bit more chest lift, because this, being a modified fish pose, you're still getting your chest very lifted, only your neck is not back and you're not stretching into your neck. So if it does not cause you any back issues, then you can straighten the legs here, and then the only difference is your crown of your head isn't on the floor. So this supported bridge pose really works well for modified fish when we have neck injuries or neck issues, that particularly day by day, right? Every day is different. So coming up out of whichever posture we're in, take that block out. Nice, yummy stretch for the spine, rocking a little from side to side if that feels good. Now roll over to one side or the other and use your hands to press up. Now why I say that is because I watch my students a lot, and a lot of times they pull up and I don't want them hurting their back. So coming into a position now, messing with cords and things, excuse me for one moment, and we're going to come into a cow face pose. First one, left is under right. Now, cow face, I'll turn to face you just so you can see what's going on here. You're stacking your knees and you're getting very tight hips. You're going to watch some very kind of maybe comical positions me working into getting my hips. Ugh. You know, you can't help how you're born, right? With the bones and the way my bones are set up, it makes me naturally very tight hip. So we can come into this position. If this is too intense, you can straighten that bottom leg. You're still doing work. So either way, straight bottom leg or the front, and then walk those hands out, pressing the hips back. Now some of you may have the flexibility to come down into the forearms, and if you do, that's perfectly fine. Just hold here and breathe. What's the difference? You want your hips on the floor. So if the forearms come down and your bum rolls upward, then back your hands up and press into the floor. You want to make sure that they're touching. walk those hands back up.
Take this top leg, which is my right leg, and place the sole of the foot on the floor and move the other one back toward the hip. Pose of nobility, nice, tall spine. Half Lord of the Fishes. So we'll take that left elbow and bring it behind, and then either this position where you're gazing over the back shoulder, or you can really work that shoulder in, bring the hand to the floor, lift up, and then gaze goes back. But make sure you choose wisely, right? And breathe. Release, coming up and out. Going to turn back the other direction for our next position. So straighten out that left leg. The right foot comes, and it comes fairly close. So we're going to do a Marichyasana posture. Bring this arm to the inside and reach way forward, like as far as you can, and flip that palm in the air. Then take this bicep, wrap it around the front of the shin, and either hold on to the butt cheek and come up and gaze over the back shoulder, or if you have the flexibility, you can take and clasp the hands. Lift up and then gaze back over. Either way is fine. And breathe. Release. And now second side. So just straighten the legs. And as ready, the right goes under. Going into your awkward movements, maybe with me, I don't know. Get those knees in alignment for sure. Sit up nice and tall in our cow face. Remember, you can have that bottom knee straight. The bottom leg can be straight. Ooh, that's intense, right? Sit up nice and tall first. And then as you feel ready, you can melt over, bringing the forearms down. As long as your bum stays on the ground, the forearms can be down. If not, you need to use your hands to press it in. And breathe. We are making our way to Shavasana. I hope that you're happy about that. Walk those hands back up. The left sole of the foot comes flat on the floor. The right heel goes back toward the buttock. Nice pose of nobility. And then wrap that arm over the other side. Maybe this is all we have, right? Perfect. If you want to, you can really get that shoulder, straightening them both, and gaze back. Don't do it. Don't ever do deep twists if you have osteoporosis or penia, anything like that. You want to be careful with your bones. Of course, if you have that, you already know not to do that. And breathe. Release, coming up. Beautiful job. Extend that right leg out. Marichyasana posture. So bring that left knee in. Bring that shoulder all the way on the inside. Reach as far as you're able to. Flip that palm to the sky. Wrap it around and just hold on to the butt and come up. Or clasp and come up. And then gaze back. Release. Coming up and out. And lay down on your back. Come into Supta Urdhva Hastasana. Nice overhead salute. Your feet are together and they're flexed and your arms are reaching out over, stretching everything from midline of body. Exhale, the right shin comes in. We give it a squeeze. Left hand anchors down the left hip. Right hand holds on to the right shin and start to circle that knee, working into the hip. And notice how it's softly stretching out your shoulder. Go the other direction.
release. Overhead salute again. Nice deep stretch. Arch that spine. Nice deep reach. Out breath. Bring that left in and squeeze it in. Right hand anchors down the right hip and make those circles. Go the other direction. And now one more deep stretch. Reach everything out and over. And then hands down. Open the feet. Settle into your Shavasana. Relax the feet, the arches, the toes. Relax the ankles, the calves, and the shins. Relax thighs, front and back, buttocks and hips. Relax the fingers, the palms, the wrists. Relax the forearms, the biceps and triceps. Relax the shoulders, the chest. Relax the upper and lower belly. Relax the hips. Relax the neck. Relax the jaw. Allow the tongue to pull away from the roof of the mouth and rest lightly behind the front teeth. Relax the muscles surrounding the cheeks. Relax the eyes and their sockets. Relax the skin between the brows. Relax the skin of the forehead. Let everything relax. If you want to stay longer, just put your play on pause. If you're ready to move on with your day, then we can start to wiggle out our fingers and toes, adding some subtle general movement into the body. When we're ready, maybe larger movements, maybe overhead stretch. Perhaps knees into chest, Upanasana, rocking maybe from side to side. Perhaps a happy baby, just to open up the stretch of the hips. And when ready, roll to your right side. Use your hands to press yourself up, finding yourself in an easy, comfortable position. Closing the eyes, bringing the thumb and index finger together. Hold here for a few breaths. We'll do a few rounds of alternate nostril breath, ending our class. Take a full inhale. Full exhale, either out the mouth or out the nose. Place the thumb on the right septum. Dip the chin just a touch toward the chest and inhale through the left nostril. Close the left septum with the ring finger. Release the right, exhale out right. In right. Close out left. In left. Close out right. In right. Close out left. In left. Close out right. In right. Close out left. Release. Thumb and index finger, tall spine. Notice any shifts or changes in the body, in the breath, in the mind. Bring the hands into prayer position, Anjali Mudra. Thumbs to chest, dipping the chin in, closing with mantra and 3 ohms. Om Savasham Swastir Bhavatu, Savasham Shantir Bhavatu, Savasham Punam Bhavatu, Savasham Mangalam Bhavatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Inhale breath. Thank you.